I love to eat, I love to write about it, I love to talk about it, and I love to cook. Is there anything more indulgent than just surrendering to the most sensual form of art after sex than cooking? And really allowing it to nourish your body and your soul at the same time. But there was one time when someone almost took my passion away from me. When I was in journalism school, I really wanted to chase fire trucks, you see. And then I decided that I really enjoyed cooking. So what I started to do is I figured, you know, I'm gonna sign up for a chef training program, and I want to learn how to be a chef so I can be a culinary journalist. And I was so excited. I put on an oversized pressed chef's coat that was way too big for me. I bought a brand new set of knives, and I found myself in a large group of men where I was the only woman. And one day, and the truth is, every single day posed some sort of a challenge. And the truth is, I couldn't keep up. My tiny pre-baby frame just couldn't lift and saute and stir and lift the same way as theirs could. And I really struggled. So one time we were all whipping up chantilly cream. And my hand was getting numb from all the whipping. And when all of my classmates, they were already forming their stiff peaks and their cream was already becoming a perfect chantilly cream, my whipping cream was still in its original liquid form. So then one of my classmates came up to me. Just to protect his privacy, I'll call him Richard, so I can also call him Dick. To me and looked at me and smirked and said, "Sweetheart, you gave it a good run. Why don't you go home and bake some cupcakes?" So I went home that night and my inner emotional drama was excruciating. Why did I allow him to speak to me that way? Who the hell was he to speak to me that way? Was I really not good enough? Should I just quit right there on the spot and never go back? I can't keep up, but I just want to learn. I just want to learn. So the next day I decided to go back and just forget about everything that happened. And I was never gonna bring it up to Dick again. I was just gonna go there and learn and absorb all the tantalizing knowledge that I so badly wanted to get. But that pain, that hurt just sat inside of me for days and for months. It just sat there, and it didn't allow me to just calm down and be happy with what I was doing, although I was enjoying it so much. Then one day, we were all making creme brulee, which happens to be my favorite dessert, especially after this happened. We were all making creme brulee, and I looked over at Dick's perfectly crusted masterpiece. And when he walked away, I was still holding a blowtorch in my hands. And I had never felt so powerful, so strong, and so tough and badass. So I leaned over before he came back and I gave his masterpiece a couple of finishing touches, you know what I mean? I scored it to almost a perfect nothing. So when Dick came back and saw his masterpiece in ruins, he looked at me and didn't say a word. No one in that classroom full of men ever said a single disrespectful thing to me again. So here's what I learned from this experience. Your passion and your worth speak for themselves. But sometimes you just have to show people just how serious you are about your passion and how seriously you are going to defend your place in the world, in the workplace. learned that sometimes your colors are going to show, and sometimes they are not going to be pretty. Oh no. But those are the colors that you have to show to people so they understand that they cannot walk over you. Since that day in the kitchen, I have been blessed and fortunate. I've done television, I've hosted cooking shows, I have written 2 books, I have been teaching everywhere, and truly met some of the most amazing people in this world. But tonight, I don't want to teach, I don't want to preach, and I don't want to educate. But I want to raise a toast to every single woman who has been mistreated, underpaid, and underappreciated, but stood up for herself. I want to raise a toast to every single woman who walked into that kitchen, into that boardroom, into that construction site, into that operating room, and showed that she will not let anyone walk over her. And my classmate Dick, he never made it to graduating and becoming a chef, but I bet you he makes pretty mean cupcakes.